I
Do you ever
agree.
get nerves as a referee?
I get nervous for everything as far as like every time I sparred, I got nervous. But it was like I took the nerves and I used it as an adrenaline, like to kick in and to do better. Every time I had competition, uh, just getting in the ring, refereeing. But yeah, I always have, butterflies, but I just use it to my advantage.
Right, right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think so, and I think that's not talked about a lot. Like I feel like as a ref, I mean, you want to make the right decision. You want to look out for the box, or you want to make sure everything's going great. And I just feel like a lot of these refs have, obviously, they have a job to do, but it's a tough job at times. So it's not talked about enough. So what are kind of like some of the things that you maybe want to look out for as a ref, or what kind of, how would you ref a fight? Would you let guys kind of fight on and use their strategy and maybe hold a little bit? You know what I mean? Just normal boxing stuff.
Well, there's a difference, right? If you're going to do amateur Olympic style boxing, safety is first. You
Mm-hmm.
have to stop the bout before they get hurt. In the pros, they're fighting for money, so you have to let them
Yeah.
get hurt, but not too much. Like
Yeah.
Pat Russell has all these really cool like isms, and he's like, yeah, I can't say it as good as him, but you have to take him out to deep water, but you don't let him drown,
Mm,
like the Bradley Provodnikov that he refereed. I mean, it was a war, but he let them go to a certain point. They definitely got hurt, but not too much that they couldn't
right.
reel it in and come back and be okay. So,
Well,
yeah. I mean,
uh,
in the pros, you have to let them fight. Of course, they're not, you don't want to, nobody wants to watch them hold the whole night. That's not
right,
fun. So
right,
you have to get in. But if they're fighting and they're, using their skills and they're getting in and out and they just clinch, clinching is good boxing. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm going to quote Pat Russell: clinching is good boxing, holding is a foul. And you have to
mm,
explain that in the dressing room, in your instructions, right? That's where it starts. That's where you get control, is in the dressing room, not when you see the fighters for the first time in the ring, right?
right,
You see them for the first time in the dressing room. You are very clear with your instructions and you tell them, clinching is good boxing. You have a hand free. You keep punching until I tell you, until it becomes holding. And then that's
right,
a foul.
right.
Yeah.
As a ref, do you watch a lot of film of like, I guess there's like
Ooh.
a Hall of Fame of refs, right? So when you watch fights, is it more like watching how the ref reacts, or do you watch it in the lens of watching it for the boxers, or does it switch up?
It depends what I'm doing. So I knew I was judging.
Mm-hmm.
So the week before, I get on TV, I judge as many fights as I can. I compare my scores. If they're totally different, I'd be like, well, what am I seeing that they're not seeing, or vice
Yeah.
versa. For refereeing, for me, the best thing for refereeing is getting in the ring. Of course, you're going to look, and I'm going to take things from people that I respect. Um, but the best is to get in the ring. So if you don't have a fight and you can't referee, then you either go to a gym or you go to Mexico and you get in the ring
Yeah.
and you referee those fights.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've been welcome over there. So I get to go and I referee, and
I
you
was gonna
know,
say, does that work with just like kind of like a first come first serve? Like if someone like goes down there, they could just kind of just ref if needed, or is it they
no,
always have?
they have a tight commission.
Mhm,
And Tijuana is different than Rosarito. They have a really tight
mhm.
commission. I've just been blessed to make a great connections, and they've welcomed me, so I can go there. They give me a lot of fights. I got in there, and hasn't been for a long time. This is, not too long ago it started, but I feel very lucky. Someone told me that they tried to go in the commission in Mexico and they said they have enough. So,
Mm,
going there is just great experience because they have so many fights, right? California has a lot of fights,
Mm-hmm.
but they have a
yeah,
lot of fights. And if I can't jump in the ring in a gym, it's better. You go to, they invite me, I'll go in, I'll do my
on the
thing.
job. Yeah, more like on the job
Yeah,
training
you
as
get to see
opposed to
live bullets.
Exactly,
yeah.
just to stay and you want to stay sharp.
Right.
You don't
Mhm.
lose it. You don't use it, you lose it, right?
Right.
Right,
So it's
right.
always good to keep going and study the rule book all the time. Uh, Pat Russell is like my mentor. Jack Reese helped me a lot. Tom Taylor,
Yeah.
a lot of them I respect. Many referees, but um, Pat will always say, at home, look in the mirror, practice down, practice counting, practice everything that can possibly happen. A lot of things really happen, let's say, at the last 10 seconds. You notice you're watching a fight, right?
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
10 seconds, shit hits the fan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
No, say whatever you want. Whatever you want. You're good.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
things happen. So you have to be really ready. When the last 10 seconds, especially, of course, you're ready the whole fight, but especially last 10 seconds. And when there is a break, you say break and then you say stop. You don't want to just walk yourself in there,
Correct.
right? We've
Right.
seen referees get punched before. You want to make
Absolutely.
it clear that and that's where, again, it starts in the dressing room. When I say break, you step back, right? And then
Yeah.
you can continue fighting. I say stop, you step. You have to listen. So, and
You
you
build
make it clear.
you build that respect level.
Exactly. You tell them exactly what you expect. I tell them about the fouls. I tell them, you know, fouls that I will not accept. I will never accept an intentional foul. You do an intentional foul, okay? This is the last time, one and only time I will warn you, and that's in the dressing room. You know, especially rabbit punches. They're very dangerous, hitting
Hmm.
behind the head,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, you remember Pritchard Cologne,
Oh
right?
Hmm.
man, yeah, yeah.
He he
Sadly.
was hit, yeah, hit many times, and
Very talented too.
it's really sad. Very talented. So
Hmm.
you can't let them get away with that. That's not okay.
Yeah. You can't. It's for that fight and future fights, so that kind of
Absolutely.
builds a precedence of being a clean fighter in a sense with how they approach knowing how it can be refed and what they can do and what they can't.
And
Yeah, because some will try and get away with everything, but if you are clear in the dressing room, and the second something happens,
Right.
you already warned them. You're going
Mm.
to do a low blow intentionally. You're going to hit the fighter when they're down intentionally. You're going to ruin a good knockdown by getting
Yep.
your, let's say you knock your opponent down and then you hit them when they're down. Okay, we're going to score the knockdown, but I'm also going to take a point because you just ruined that good knockdown.
right.
Yeah. That turns into 9-8 real fast. So
Exactly, Marcus.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, Christy, real quick, I want to get your assessment on the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight. Did it go? How did you see the fight? It was a great fight, I think. Um,
How did I see the fight?
yeah, like what was your takeaway? Did we learn anything new?
Um, it's like where to start. Do you use a strategy by getting on knowing that you're going to be heavy just because you can pay the fine and getting on the scale? Do
Yeah.
you, I mean, has the B sample even came back yet? You
Yeah.
know,
Has it come back?
I mean, Twitter assumes that, as I think that was the last back.
Yeah,
Uh,
Twi-
too much to dive on it
Twitter
because
always gives the final verdict.
I thought
yeah,
oh my goodness. I thought the fight was Mando, Mandalorian for the Star
oh,
Wars.
I love it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I love it.
I thought the fight was very good as well. And and I like Ryan very much. I would never think that he would use steroids. So God willing, it comes back negative.
mm,
I've known Ryan and Sean and their mother Lisa and father Henry and little sister Kayla for a long time because we all refereed together, and the
hmm,
boys fought since they were little bitty kids. I
right,
used to
right,
say, stop holding. And the mother would get mad at me. What do you mean? I'm friends with Lisa, but she'd get mad at me. What do you mean he's holding? Yeah, he holds. But he doesn't hold as much anymore. But I always
yeah,
really liked Ryan. He was always a really nice guy, real friendly. Him and my son got along really well. Um, I all I can say is that I wish him the best. I thought he fought really well.
I do too. Like
hmm,
I hope this doesn't tarnish the fight because honestly, either way, I don't think it would have changed anything. To be honest with you, I just think he has power. Devin Haney. I mean, he has a little bit of power too, but that left hook is something serious. It's something serious, and it's a money shot for him. So if he can land it, There's a great chance he can win. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Glass, what was your take? I know we talked about it briefly, but
Yeah. We discussed it a little bit, but yeah, it was I mean, um, unexpected, which in ways is good in boxing. Uh, Getting an outcome that you weren't, that the public was not expecting or even prepared for, and I guess that kind of fed into what Devin was not expecting or prepared for.
mm-hmm.
So, um, being able to get that out of a fight is what keeps people around. I think with boxing, expect the unexpected. It definitely put new eyes on the sport, which which is why um, I hope it doesn't come back that it was a the sample was bad
I
and
hope not.
for and things things like that
I
to
hope not
continue
too.
on the sport, because the sport needs new eyes on it in general.
Absolutely.
So um,
Hope not.
at least from top to bottom, not just the pro fights, amateur fights, Olympic fights. Hopefully, the Olympics will and the fighters in the Olympics will add. But I'm on a tangent. But yeah, it brought new eyes, which I'm also in favor of whenever it comes to boxing.
And Marcus Christie, I think Ryan brings superstardom, like too. Like he brings like I don't know. Somebody said it the previous day, but he brings like a Taylor Swift like fan base with him in a sense. Like he has fans. So
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
bringing that to the sport, we want to keep it. We want to keep it because boxing is an amazing sport, and I think we're only seeing a small portion of what it could be, especially with all these talented fighters coming up. I think we're in great hands. But yeah, I was on Team Ryan. I was on the fan club probably before the fight. We did an episode. I knew it was gonna happen, but I knew Devin. He's sharp. If he's sharp, he uses his jab. It's gonna be a tough night. But hey, things happen. Things happen.
They're both very good fighters. I mean, I'd like to see a rematch, wouldn't
I
you?
would love to see a rematch. Where do you think
Absolutely.
at 140 or 147?
You guys could tell me.
I say
Yeah.
147.
Uh, 140 is going to be tough to make again, as you can see. I
Yeah,
think catch weight, maybe a catch weight fight,
Yeah.
143 where Ryan was last time.
yeah,
At least give him a leeway or something.
yeah. And I know, Krista, we don't want to ask you too much as far as that, but it was
No, but I would like to see them both weigh in where they have to weigh in, that there's no, you
yeah,
can't pay and get away with being too heavy. I want to see them have to weigh in like regular fighters normally do. That
Yeah,
was the biggest, hardest thing for me was making weight.
hmm
I was always dreaming about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I think everybody should have to make weight. I
yeah,
don't think it's
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
and
yeah. Especially during training, if you train so hard, you should have to, and if someone is training just as hard to do what is, a rule.
Hmm.
right,
There There's weight classes for a reason.
Exactly. Hmm.
So
I agree.
yeah,
Exactly.
So yeah, let's all vote on 147. Chris, you talk to us a little bit about what you're getting in. I know you're doing a lot of judging and everything now, but are you focused on one part of the sport? Then or like are you focused more so on judging or refing, or are you just kind of like doing a little bit of both, just trying to get in as much as you possibly can?
Well, whatever the California State Athletic Commission, CSAC, gives me, I'm so grateful.
Absolutely.
I'm a referee. I'm a licensed referee.
Hmm.
I love refereeing because being a competitor and getting in the ring and being so close to the competition is just that's my favorite. I enjoy judging, but refereeing, like I'm refereeing at Fantasy Springs. I think it's Golden Boy Promotions on the 27th of June, and I'm so excited about it.
Nice.
CSAC assigned me. I'm so happy I'll be there, ready. So,
Congratulations. That's
no,
huge.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's awesome.
kind of like how does it I guess you build up a rapport and then you get assigned fights, or is there like you put your name in for certain fights, or how's the process work?
No, you're not supposed to ever ask for assignments. That's like a big no-no. No,
Okay, okay.
Andy Foster is our executive officer, and he came from, I believe it was Georgia, from the MMA world, but he's done a very good job with boxing. He's a very, very aware of, people that gain too much weight. Like you lose, you suck the weight, and then you gain it back. So he's been really making changes in our commission doing a
Yeah.
great job. Because I just want to say, about when people lose weight like that, you have your brain and you have all the water around your brain, right? And then you have your skull. And when they do that to their body, they lose 10, 20 pounds. They don't have
Yeah.
the water between your brain and your skull, and you're getting hit, right?
Yep.
And that is really dangerous. So Andy has really, I believe there's a rule now that about weighing in and how much weight they can gain. But back to the assignments is you can't ask for assignments. They assign you what they feel, it's really, I really don't know how it's done. I'm just grateful to
Yeah.
when I get assignments from them.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I understand. It's a great experience.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Do you
Oh,
ever
but let
go to
me
any?
tell you about really quick, second
Go ahead.
impact syndrome. So you
Mm.
have that situation, and let's say you have a concussion and it doesn't heal. That's second impact syndrome. That is also really
Oh.
dangerous. You guys don't go to sleep. Go straight to the doctor.
Yeah, yeah. Every time I had a few concussions when I was playing football as a kid, and my
Yeah.
mom was like, "Don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep," and that's the hardest thing
Oh,
to tell you.
she's smart. She's smart. I mean, any symptoms, blurry vision, double vision, headaches,
Hmm.
vomiting, even like sensitivity to the light,
Yep.
you know, be aware, go to the hospital. It can be like in any sport, right? You could get hit today in your game with the basketball and you can get a concussion.
Yep, yep. It is possible in all sports. Impact is impact. You never can predict. No one's
Impact
trying to
is
get,
impact.
but it happens. It's a
Absolutely.
part
Yeah,
of
they
it.
just have to know what to look for so that you are safe.
Absolutely.
Glass, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was listening to the Sean Porter podcast, and he had a referee on, and they were talking about seminars and the seminars that are done. And I was wondering if you ever go to any of those, the
Oh my
refereeing seminars.
gosh, that's a good question. I go to so many. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, you never ever stop learning. So people who
yeah,
don't keep reading the rules, don't go to seminars, or don't get in a ring and
yeah.
practice if they don't get assigned, they're not learning, they're not going forward. So Jack Reese has something called Soul Arbiter, and I've
Mm,
gone 3 times already. He had
okay,
two beginning and one advanced, and it's fantastic. It's going to be Labor Day weekend.
okay,
I highly recommend it. It's 3 days. I'll go again. This time it's in Vegas. It was in Ventura. Um,
okay.
so you have 2 days. You know what? You guys should go because it's really
I would definitely
good for
go.
the media to learn as well. He has so many PowerPoint slides. So it's Jack Reese, it's his sole arbiter, and then he has Tom Taylor and I believe Ed Calantes. Oh, and Russell Mora, who's with the WBO. Awesome. He refereed me. He's
Okay.
from Vegas. But you'll have 2 days of in the classroom. And I'm telling you, Jack has us there for hours to the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to go have dinner. Hours. I mean, you really get your money's worth. The third day, you're going to a gym, you get in the ring as many times as you want, and they'll give you scenarios and they'll give you critique. It is the
Oh,
best 3 days. So I've done that 3 times already. I'll go back again. I think I'm actually going to go and help them more this time. And
right.
then yeah, we do the ABC commission every 2 years. You take their test, referee and judging,
Hmm.
whatever I can do to learn and keep going forward. I do. I love
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Which is great, and I guess that's not talked about enough as far as. I mean, everyone kind of preaches it, but there's little areas where people don't think about it as much as far as like refereeing things, and they always say it for the fighters that they need to keep learning. That's how they get better. But even the referees and everyone
Exactly.
It's
involved,
it's so
say,
refreshing too, just to know that people like Krysti are always trying to learn more about the sport they've been in for years. Like it's never like, you know what, I've been in it for 20 years, I'm good. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like it's just constant progression, constant progression. Practice, practice,
I've been in it
practice.
for what, like 24, 25, 26, 27, 27, 28 years, um, for a long time. But I am always, definitely always learning. Yeah, I will
yeah,
never stop learning.
It's a blessing.
yeah. As
Yeah.
it evolves, you have to evolve with it, and
Hmm.
that's just every life. As everything evolves, you have to make sure you're a part of that
And
evolution
you have
as
to
well.
stay in shape, Marcus. Marcus squared, since there's two of you.
Yeah.
You got to stay in shape. You see these referees, and I won't name anyone, especially the guys, they're allowed to have pot bellies or whatever.
Yep.
Come on, respect for the fighters. Get out there and run. Stay in shape. And
Yeah.
I'm always going to be in shape.
Right.
you might have to
Yeah,
break up. If you have to break up a heavy clinch with some heavyweights, and you're not
exactly.
shape, it's gonna be they're gonna be it's gonna be like a little kid trying to chase a Doberman Pinscher around on a leash or something.
Yeah, plus you have to get out of the way. What about people, the lighter weights that are so fast and move around so fast and
Yeah,
change, and
yeah,
you really have to be able to move and get out of their way too. And for safety reasons, you got to get out of the way as well.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
So that is definitely a not is an underrated quality
I agree.
um, referee. Everyone should be in shape, whether you're in the ring or not. But you definitely should be
Exactly.
in shape if you're in the ring on all sides of it. So that makes sense.
Yeah, for all referees, all sports. Um,
And
yeah.
Christy, when you get
Yeah.
assignments, like, what's the turnaround? Do they tell you, like, the week of, week before? I don't know if
No,
that's too
usually
much, but
usually at least 30 days, but
okay.
sometimes people fall out or something and they may call you. Or if you're gonna, do a title fight, it may be a lot closer. So
Okay.
it just depends.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we've got a couple minutes left. I know we did a short one, but we will definitely have you back on, hopefully within the next week or two. But I want to do Fantasyland. I want to play a little bit of fantasy real quick. Um, give me. I want to go. Let's go pass. Let's go pass. Give me a fight you'd want to ref from the past.
Mm, Gosh. How about Hagler Hearns?
Ooh, that's a good
That
one.
would
Mm,
be fun.
That's a good one.
Oh
yeah.
my
That would
God.
be super fun.
You wouldn't
Or
have had.
Miguel
You,
Cotto and Canelo, or you know what I
oh yeah.
mean, Trinidad and De La Hoya.
That would have been a good
Mm,
one. That would have been a good one. Whew.
Yeah, there's many. I mean, there's so many fighters now that I'm so excited. I mean, I'm excited because you have to understand the fighters that go in there for 4 rounds, this is their championship fight.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they will never fight again. So you have to
yeah.
treat it as this is the championship fight for every single fight that you get in the ring, and I'm always excited.
Right. And I guess that eliminates the feel out rounds because if you're feeling it out for the first round too, it's almost half the fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, you got to stay on your toes the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what is?
Definitely.
Give me your Mount Rushmore. What is Mount Rushmore for?
Yes.
Give me four greatest of all time from the past. Boxers.
I'm a judge and referee. I can't give you. Ask Marcus over there what the. You ask him about boxers.
you go MG.
Even the past ones. Uh, I give I feel like we had talked about this in the last one. It's such a loaded question because there's so many weight classes and so many eras, and
Let give me your top four. Ooh, let's do heavyweights of all time.
I can say
No, nobody from the future or nobody from now. No present.
my favorite weight of all time is Lennox Lewis.
Yes.
That's my favorite, but that's just from me watching. That was my favorite to watch when I was growing up. Uh, you can't not put Ali in there.
You'd be crazy not to put him in there.
Uh, I like that George Foreman had two separate careers,
Which career you
and
picking?
so it's hard to like him as a whole is tough to just pick. I mean, I feel like he just kind of needs to be on there because of having two separate careers.
I
Um,
agree.
a fourth, there's so many fighters.
No Mike
Uh,
Tyson.
uh, I guess from the impact of his impact on casuals, like the impact of him bringing casuals of that era to boxing.
Yeah,
But his I feel like people don't realize like a good chunk of his prime is in jail.
that's
So
true.
it's like hard to for me to pick, even though he was one of the most exciting punchers that we've ever seen.
Ryan says he's starting an organization called Save the Children, and I hope he really
Mhm.
is because there's a lot of children that need to be saved. You know.
Absolutely, and
Agreed.
as far as next generation, that's the most important. I mean, every generation
Exactly.
is important, or the most important thing for every generation should be the next generation,
Absolutely.
in my opinion.
Mhm.
Gotta
I
gotta
And
agree.
protect the babies. Gotta protect the babies.
You got to. And there's so many that are missing too. So that's why you go to my websites, the social
mm,
media, you'll see a lot of missing
what, ma-
children, a lot
what
of
makes
young black men, actually. That's
yeah.
why I post on, Black and Missing. They have a lot of, men, women, and children. But if you notice, a lot of the young men, not just black men, end
Mm-hmm.
up in bodies of water and dead. And I don't understand it. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, I highly suggest everyone to always look at those missing children and missing adults and post them whenever you can.
And if you
Yeah,
if you
and
don't mind, I don't mean to cut you off, Glass, but I definitely want to maybe post your handles, your social media handles. That way people can follow you and definitely
for
kind of
sure.
tap in.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
I think
and
they're mostly under Krysti Rosario,
Okay.
and or Boxing Girl, well, it's BXINGI
Yes.
at AOL dot. Wait, BXI. Wait, I forget. BXINGIRL, right? There's no O and only one G.
I think.
But I
we'll
think you
have you.
can find them out under my name too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to send it to you so he can link it in the video because
Oh,
it's definitely
okay.
an important cause and definitely deserves light shed on it. And I appreciate you for using your platform to shed that light on such a thing because I mean, of course, it is always just like the rest of history. It's always seen as an afterthought when someone of color ends up missing
Hmm.
or is in certain situations. It seems like it's an afterthought for the general public until it hits the doorstep of the majority, whether
Correct.
that be whatever race the majority. Let's just put it like that. If someone that's a minority, it happens to be your voice is already lesser because you're a minority. So using your platform to create awareness, I appreciate that, and I'm sure everyone else that you are helping in the situation should also appreciate it and thank you. I'll say thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you guys. I mean, you can always post missing at the end of your shows because you can rotate them. It's always so important for people. And that's why I go to different websites, but the other one I was using is not posting a lot of. And then the Black and Missing, like you said, if a white woman, and and it's not just a white woman, but a lot of times you'll hear a lot about it, right? What's going on, but you don't hear a lot about, like you said, minority boys and girls, and there are a lot that are missing. And again,
Absolutely.
a lot that are, I don't understand that you'll hear, and young men, I mean, of all colors, in their 20s that will end up dead in bodies of water. And I don't understand. There should be some kind of research on that because for, Jelani Day, his mother is still and will probably always be trying to find out what happened to her son. He wound
Mm-hmm.
up in a river. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Beautiful, smart.
Yeah, I was aware, but I appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna look the case up when we get off the call
Yeah,
because
well,
Absolutely.
they're constantly, because she knows her son was not going to go swimming out there by himself and drowning. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
yeah,
No matter how drunk you are, you're not going to decide to just go. I don't know. It's just so,
yeah,
and he would, don't get me wrong, he wasn't drunk, he wasn't drinking. But I'm just saying, if people are going to say that someone is intoxicated and they're just going to go out for a swim in a river, I mean, this is happening over and over again, and
yeah. It's a
it
pattern.
has to
It's
be
a pattern.
looked at.
A sick
Yeah.
pattern. Pattern.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. So please, everyone, look when you get those pictures, those little, you throw away, you get the mail. What is it called? And you just kind of throw them away. They have the little
Yeah,
pictures of the missing people on them. Yeah.
pageants. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Please look at them.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
guys, it's been a pleasure.
Thank
We're
you.
out of time today, but we'll definitely be back.
Um,
Appreciate
I
everybody.
know. Marcus Squared has to go play basketball. Good
Yes.
luck.
Yes. Good luck to you. Good luck
Thank
to you,
you
Glass.
both.
Hey, go get a double tonight.
That's mandatory. That's mandatory.
That sounds amazing.
Do my
It's
best.
always so nice to be on here. I appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
best of luck for you both as well. I know this show is going to blow up and go viral, and not necessarily because I'm on it, but your whole
You're a piece
format.
of it.
You're a
You're shown.
piece of it, and we look to have you on again here pretty soon. Let's shoot for maybe another week or two. I want to break down, some more things and kind of get into some more boxing and just the sport and really just give people an eye on what they're missing out on.
Well, thank you. Yeah, if you ever want to talk about what to look at as, what judges look at or what referees, I can give you a lot of insight.
Let's do that.
That,
So
Let's do
thank
that.
you both. Have a
we'll make
wonderful evening.
that the whole next episode for sure.
Absolutely.
My niggas outside cracking the matrix, dodging oppositions and the haters. And milk gon' make the cheese that debate.